Top tip, CVs, or if you're American, resumes. So very often in bidding, we find if you ask one of your technical delivery people to give you a CV for a bid, go and write a CV, they'll probably come back with a couple of pages of winding guff about all of the things they've ever done, that isn't particularly specific to this client for this opportunity that we're bidding for. There is a whole sport. Obviously, all of my professional bidding friends will get this. You probably spend an inordinate proportion of your life messing about with either CVs or case studies for bids and trying to match as closely the DNA of what we're bidding for to the experience of the people, or what's baked into the case study. So on CVs, yes, have a bit of text, a bit of intro in terms of career overview, what the person has done, their kind of history of their career. But it is literally sort of 3, 4 lines, 5 lines max across a page or two. And certainly have some base data, qualifications, all of that kind of stuff. You might have to be a little bit careful about length of service or career length because of Equalities Act. We shouldn't give any identifiers from which people could be discriminated against. You have to take a view as a company as to how far you go with that. But really, we want some stuff in there that's really specific. We could do with a personal commitment, a 1 or 2 liner supposedly from the individual about why they're excited about the opportunity. It's in their local community, it's something they've written their thesis on, or a type of project or a type of delivery they're really excited about. They've done lots of similar stuff for similar clients. And then give the client 3 or 4 bullet points on why this person, be really overt that this person has absolutely delivered value for clients on this type of project before. They're absolute experts in this particular aspect of this delivery and can help you de-risk this part of the project. Let's try and reflect in some of the stuff that's important to the client, the risks, the hot buttons that we've spotted through our research and strategy work into some of our CVs, because these are the people the client is buying. Now, as I said in a previous video, actually, we want these to be the most beautifully crafted pieces of writing that no one ever reads because they know the person and trust them. But obviously that's utopia, and some of the team they perhaps won't have met. So this needs to be critically really specific to the opportunity you're bidding. And so likewise, when you get into the element of the CVs on experience, give them 2 or 3 case studies of where this individual has delivered exactly this type of service for clients, either for the client you're bidding to or for clients that are as close in their DNA as possible to the one that you're bidding to. And don't just say what they did or a description of the project or contract. Let's get into the detail. Let's say what they did on that contract or that project and what value they added. Maybe have a little quote from the client about how wonderful they were and the value that they created for the client. Because confidence and trust does come from people having personally done this stuff before and demonstrate the value that they brought, not just a winding bunch of stuff on how they've delivered for others. But you should be able to glance a CV in 3 seconds and get what you're supposed to take from it. Why this person? So make it quite overt. So a limited intro, career overview, bit of base data, but give it a personal commitment. Be very overt on why this person's the right person for the client for this aspect of delivery. And then the examples that you give, don't just say what the example was, say what they did, the value that they added, perhaps why that is relevant to what you're bidding for. Keep it focused to the point. Don't make the reader guess. And they should really resonate. Best of luck.